Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about mental health and self-isolation. The biggest thing I want to talk about is the impact that can have and why it is a real thing you should be being aware of as we are all quarantining, staying at home, self-isolating. I think one of the biggest concerns and self-care things you should be paying attention to is your mental health. And I know that a ton of people are talking about this. A ton of people are talking about tips for keeping sane during quarantine and things like that. But I wanted to make the case for why that is really important and why it's something you should pay attention to and not forget about. So I talk about mental health all the time anyways, and I'm an advocate for making sure you're taking care of yourself and your mental health anyways, quarantine time or not. But specifically the idea of isolating is super connected to our mental health. We were designed as social beings. Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, you were designed as a social being and to have a connection. And that affects a lot of different things, but there is a very real connection from connecting with others to development, to emotions, and just so much. And I think that's important to remember during all of this when it may be the first time period where we could be physically alone but socialize more than ever. And what I mean by that is, while we're physically at home, either with our families or by ourselves and not seeing friends, maybe not seeing extended family who we would normally socialize with, we have, in most cases, a lot more open time to put intention into those relationships and the tools, thanks to the internet, to do so. And I think that is something that should not be forgotten. I know there's a lot of people that are twisting it to where it's physically distant but not socially distant. You can still socialize physically distant but not spiritually distant. And I think those are really important things to do. I think connecting with others is not impossible during this time. We are in an era with technology where people are literally at our fingertips. And if you have somebody in your family that you don't have a connection like that to, here's your motivation and calling to help them do that. I know there is a meme that was on Facebook where it was an introvert saying, "I've been preparing for this my whole life." Yes, but this can still impact you. So it's still important to pay attention to. There are a lot of ways. So first off, there are a ton of studies that have been done by some of the very founding psychologists about connection and physical connection specifically, not emotional discussions, not bearing your soul for 3 hours type of conversations, but just physically being close. And in those studies, you can really see the difference in development, the difference in coping mechanisms, the difference in mood and motivation and all of that. In specifically the study I'm thinking of, I don't remember any other details. I will try to put it on the screen. But it was done with monkeys where they replaced the mom with a mom made of towel just to see if it would bond to it and if it would be something that nurtured them. So it was kind of that nature versus nurture type thing. But what they found was extremely important for connection and those roles and relationships in our life being super important. Whether we're an introvert or not, whether we get refreshed by talking to others or not, there is something about that that is vital to us as human beings. And I personally am not an introvert. I'm a major extrovert. I do have my moments of being a little bit of an introvert, but all in all, I'm a huge extrovert. I really don't do well when I don't talk to people. So, hi, I'm Brooke. That's me. But for me, the ways that I see isolation impacting me are really in my mindset. So it's like it hinders my mindset, it hinders my perspective, it hinders my motivation, my approach. I just feel very down when I let myself give in to what we all want to give into during this time stuck at home. And when I don't put time and effort into still connecting with others, regardless of being able to go see people. And I myself know I have the tools to combat that. I know what to do when I need to talk to somebody and like I want to talk to my mom and she's 3 hours away. I know what to do. When I want to talk to my best friend, I know what to do. And it's mostly about being disciplined about doing those things. I also have found myself trying to get out of doing certain things that are pushing me out of my comfort zone, but also things that I know will help me. Like there have been some Zoom calls that I've been invited to for like whether it was just having a discussion and talking, or there was a Bible study that I went to. Those things are social things. They're socializing, they're talking, they're connecting with others. And while I know I need it, it still pushes you out of your comfort zone to try to do it. And especially for me, when I get in that mode of letting myself give in to those emotions where I feel down, I feel less motivated, I just feel stuck, those are the times I need that the most. And that's also when it's the hardest for me to do it, weirdly. And that's just been my experience through this. I think if nothing else, I will have learned even better how to read myself when it comes to my emotions, when it comes to the impact what I'm doing has on me, like my behaviors of how often I'm at home, how often I'm making sure I get out of the house, exercising, going for walks. It's so important to be aware of that, and I don't know if we as a society slow down enough to really see what we're doing and see how it's impacting us. And those are the things in this quarantine time that I see really being the heaviest of an impact for me on my mental health and the things that I personally have to pay attention to. So if I could give you any tips, any advice, it would be to know what helps you and to find those tools that you know you need to still connect with others, to still get out of the house and take care of yourself, to still not be uber productive, but still feel like you have a purpose in your day. Not feel like you're paralyzed and can't do anything. I think that is something that leads down very difficult roads mentally and are just things to think about and things to be aware of. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a cohesive of enough thought to give you some pieces of advice that you can take or some food for thought for your own situation. And I hope this helped you. If you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications on so you can see when the next video comes out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!